The court has issued a fresh order in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. By the way, is XRP ready to hit the moon? Moreover, SBI VC Trade, a crypto exchange business and subsidiary of the Japanese financial giant and Ripple's partner SBI Group, has projected an XRP increase to 62 cents in its latest market report. Finally, can the SEC's case against Ripple's executives be revived despite the court's ruling? Stick with me till the end to find out more. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced on the 31st of October. Judge Analisa Torres, the ruling judge of the SEC versus Ripple case, has requested the parties propose a joint briefing schedule for the remedies phase. According to an order shared by prominent legal expert James K. Fillon, the SEC and Ripple have until November 9th to propose the schedule. However, if the parties disagree, they shall jointly ask the court to schedule a briefing. It is worth mentioning that the remedies briefing is the next stage in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. The phase will determine the appropriate remedies that will be leveled against Ripple Labs for violating federal securities laws via the sales of XRP to institutional clients. Notably, the SEC alleged that Ripple sold over $770 million worth of XRP to institutional clients in the US and other parts of the world. The remedies will focus only on Ripple's institutional sales because the court, on July 13th, found that the transaction constitutes an investment contract. In the meantime, the court also granted the SEC's request to moot the scheduled trial for its claim against Ripple executives. The April 16, 2024 final pretrial conference and the April 23, 2024 trial are adjourned sine die. The deadlines outlined in the court's October 3, 2023 order are vacated, Judge Torres ordered. Notably, the latest order comes shortly after the court granted the SEC's request to drop its pending claims against Ripple's execs, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. On December 22, 2020, the SEC alleged that the individual defendants aided and abetted Ripple in violating Section 5 of the 1933 Securities Act. Since the worth of Ripple's institutional sales of XRP is around $770 million, some crypto enthusiasts speculate that the blockchain company might pay the total sum as a fine. However, top legal experts, including attorney John Deaton, do not believe Ripple will pay up to that amount. The lawyer representing over 75,000 XRP holders in the lawsuit said Ripple would argue that the court should exempt on-demand liquidity transactions and other legitimate business costs, including travel expenses and salaries. To buttress further, attorney Deaton recalled that in the LBRY lawsuit, the SEC demanded that the defendant pay $23 million in fines. After a lengthy litigation over 8 months, the SEC asked for a $130,000 fine. Furthermore, Fox Business journalist Eleanor Terrett recently urged the XRP community to expect a big fight between the parties during the penalty phase. Citing sources familiar with the matter, Terrett noted that while Ripple may likely reduce the penalty, the SEC will still request a substantial amount for its bragging rights. Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. The prominent crypto trading platform Bitrue has recently sparked a wave of enthusiasm around XRP. In a recent tweet, Bitrue charged the XRP army about their readiness to welcome the much-projected bullish XRP wave. "Are we ready to send XRP to the moon?" the exchange proclaimed in the post on the X platform. Unlike other posts on Bitrue's X account, the XRP Moon tweet garnered significant attention from XRP enthusiasts. Many responded in the affirmative that they have longed for XRP's moon. Interestingly, users of the Bitrue trading platform have given more credence to Bitrue's XRP moon hint. The overwhelming majority of users trading XRP derivative contracts on Bitrue bet that XRP's price was ready for the moon. Specifically, the exchange's homepage suggested that Bitrue users hold over $783 million in XRP USDT futures contracts. Of the numbers, more than 90% of traders opened a long position for XRP on Bitrue. This implies the traders are extremely optimistic about the price trajectory of XRP in the coming weeks. Besides, the diagram below suggests that traders bullish about XRP on Bitrue have maintained a consistent outlook for the past 30 days. However, futures traders on other platforms are not as bullish about XRP as Bitrue users. Data from CoinGlass, the preeminent tracker of the derivative market, indicated that traders are slightly more bearish about XRP based on the open position on 8 centralized exchanges. The exchanges include Binance, OKX, BitGet, BingX, Bybit, CoinEx, Kraken, and Huobi. Specifically, the ratio of long to short positions on the exchange is 48.9% against 51%. In dollar values, traders in the 8 exchanges opened $1.30 billion in long positions, while shorters placed $1.36 billion. Notably, these figures imply there is almost a tie between those hopeful and those pessimistic about XRP's performance, though the bears are leading. XRP currently exchanges hands at 55 cents, as crypto market participants traded over $2 billion XRP in the last 24 hours. XRP's market valuation is about breaking the $30 billion market as its one-week performance remains stronger by over 12%. Furthermore, in the report published on Wednesday, SBI VC Trade highlighted the recent developments surrounding the legal case between Ripple and the US SEC. The report delved into the aftermath of the July 13th ruling and the effects these developments have had on XRP's price direction. Notably, XRP appreciated to the yearly top of 93 cents on July 13th following the verdict, which declared it a non-security. However, as pointed out by the SBI VC Trade report, this rally was short-lived, as XRP retraced all the gains of that day. Although the SEC recorded a partial victory in the July 13th judgment, the agency sought to appeal parts of the verdict it lost. On August 9th, the SEC requested permission to file an interlocutory appeal. However, Judge Analisa Torres denied the SEC's motion to file the appeal on October 3rd. Interestingly, XRP witnessed another upsurge following Judge Torres' October 3rd decision. However, the October rally was not as substantial as the July 13th spike, with XRP only rising to 55 cents amid a 5.21% intraday gain. XRP eventually retraced this rally, dropping to 47 cents on October 12th. In the wake of Judge Torres' ruling on October 3rd, the case was to go to trial in April 2024. However, the SEC, in agreement with Ripple, dropped the charges against Ripple's executives Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson on October 19th. The report from SBI VC Trade highlighted upcoming developments following the latest event. These developments include the remedies phase to discuss the penalties for the part of the ruling Ripple lost. As pointed out, the developments surrounding the case put XRP on a rollercoaster ride. The SBI VC Trade report also acknowledged the effects of the broader market direction on XRP, especially in recent times amid the discussions around a spot BTC ETF. XRP recently rallied to a 2-month high of $0.5866 as Bitcoin, BTC, put the rest of the market in an upward trajectory. With the broader market rally now losing steam, XRP has relinquished the 58 cents threshold, changing hands at 55 cents at the reporting time. The market report from SBI VC Trade predicts an initial increase in XRP's price to 56 cents, corresponding with the 100-day moving average. However, the report forecasts a subsequent increase, with a target of 62 cents. The last time XRP saw this price was in August. Now to our big question for the day. Can the SEC's case against Ripple's executives be revived despite the court's ruling? Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. Pro-XRP lawyer Fred Rispoli has once again commented on the SEC's decision to drop charges against Ripple execs Chris Larson, chairman, and Bradley Garlinghouse, CEO. As reported, Judge Analisa Torres signed the order officially dismissing the case against the executives. Consequently, attorney Rispoli said he recently discovered that the charges dropped by the SEC only relate to the role played by Larson and Garlinghouse during Ripple's institutional sales of XRP, which the court found to be an investment contract. He noted that the aiding and abetting charges filed against Garlinghouse and Larson under the programmatic sales of XRP and other distribution categories were automatically dismissed after the court ruled that those transactions did not violate the law. However, attorney Ripple speculated that the charges could be revived if the SEC wins the appeal on programmatic sales and other distributions. Conversely, the top lawyer emphasized that the SEC cannot sue Larson and Garlinghouse under the institutional sales category, irrespective of the outcome of its potential appeal. Per Ripple, the SEC cannot sue Ripple's execs under the institutional sales of XRP category because it dismissed the case with prejudice. Furthermore, attorney Ripple expressed doubts that the SEC made a sloppy decision by dismissing the charges against Ripple execs under the institutional sales category. I think this is more proof the SEC is going to, as Water T would say, crunch the numbers and wrap this one up for good, he added. It bears mentioning that the SEC has yet to file an appeal officially. Speculations are rife that the SEC could appeal the ruling on programmatic sales and other distributions. The SEC has expressed dissatisfaction over the July 13th ruling and has attempted to file an immediate appeal. However, the court denied the request, ordering the commission to wait for the final judgment. Dismissing the charges against Ripple execs draws the SEC closer to filing an appeal if it wishes. The remedy stage is the next phase of the case. In this phase, the court will determine the exact amount Ripple will pay for violating the laws via the sale of $770 million worth of XRP to institutional investors. Meanwhile, XRP recorded massive gains over the past 24 hours. The fifth largest cryptocurrency surged from a 24-hour low of 52 cents to a daily high of 55 cents. In the meantime, the price of XRP has retraced below 55 cents as bears continue to target the 50 cents support level. Currently, XRP is changing hands at 54 cents, up 3.2% over the past 24 hours, according to CoinGecko data. Make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.